G'day guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to be having a look at the Boomerang Mark II. This is an Australian, rank 2, battle rating 3.0 premium fighter located in the British tech tree. Now this is quite a unique vehicle, as obviously it's Australian, but also how it performs. Now this plane being Australian, it's also armed with British guns, so you've got two 20mm Hispanos with 60 rounds each, so it's pretty limited ammo, and you've also got four Browning 7.7 machine guns with 1,000 rounds of ammo each. So because you're limited 20mm, you really do need to be tapping them and not just holding down the trigger. So you've got to be really careful with that one. This plane also has no ordnance, you've only got guns, so you're not going to be really using this in CAS, in Mixed RB, or something like that. Now this plane has a 1200 horsepower radial when you're wepping, but it overheats like all tomorrow when you're wepping, and even on some of the hotter maps, it will overheat at 100%. So you need to be really careful not to overheat this engine. Even with such a powerful engine, this plane doesn't climb that well. It's quite a low altitude performing aircraft. It'll get easily outclimbed by most Axis planes, so most planes will be about 1 to 2 kilometers in altitude higher than you when you get to like engagement times, you know what I mean, like the middle of the battlefield. But this plane makes up for its lackluster climb in some absolutely insane maneuverability. This thing can outmaneuver most Allied and Axis planes. Only things that really can stand up to is, most Japanese planes like the Zeros, and maybe a Spitfire if it's really fast. But other than that, especially with your combat flaps, you can outturn anything. Outturn BF-109s, outturn Yaks, Focke-Wulf 190s. There's nothing that you're really going to struggle with. And this maneuverability also allows you to be a lot more accurate with your guns. Alrighty guys, before we get into it, if you could just scroll down and check if you're subscribed. If not, please do consider subscribing, as it really helps me out, and I would love to hit 1k subs before the end of the year. And while you're down there, please do hit that like button, as it pushes my videos in the algorithm and helps me grow. Alrighty guys, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. We are on El Alamein. We've climbed up to a sort of altitude. We're actually sort of similar altitude. I guess we did have that altitude advantage, but I do see this ITP-1 down below me, so I'm going to go dive on him and see if I can finish him off. I'm trying to be semi-conservative with my ammo, maybe a bit overzealous with my ammo, but still being relatively conservative. Now I've got this P-39 to deal with. As you can see, we're able to very easily outturn him, get on the inside of him and whatnot. Missed my shots there, should have pulled down a tad bit more, but that's alright, we should get another opportunity to do that. So now this P-39 is diving away. This plane can dive at a reasonable speed, it can dive up to about 600 kilometers an hour. But then you do start compressing quite a bit and ripping. As you can see, we're just sort of in a diving, rolling sort of thing, and I don't want to waste my ammo on this P-39 while he's like turning and swiggling around. You need to get him slow and in a position where I can just donk him. Oh, I actually got a decent shot there actually, but yeah. So we're just slowly trying to get on. I'm looking around, making sure there's nobody else, because I heard the other plane, but it was an AI, so I turned straight back onto the P-39. If I hadn't have had to deal with that AI, I may have been able to get the P-39 there, but then all of a sudden, in a second here, I'm with a little P-40, P-40 Warhawk is going to appear on my tail, and I am not going to enjoy that. Where is he? I know he appears at some point. There we go. So I pull hard, try to pull back onto it. I'm like, that P-39 is running away, so I'm not going to be able to get him, but I do need to keep him in mind. Let's see if we can quickly finish off this P-40E. Oh, it's actually an E, so it's a Kitty Hawk. So there's him crit, being conservative with ammo, miss those ones again. I'm like, oh god, I'm missing these shots. As you can see, like, just pulling on the inside of him easily. He's on fire, don't have to deal with him anymore. Okay, here's the P-39. Now I make a mistake here. I go high. This is something I shouldn't do. I should have gone low, I should have not gone high. I realised what I've done, I've tried to go low, and the P-39's already got me, and I'm dead. That shows you can be maneuverable in this plane, But you have to keep in mind that you've always got to be on top of the dogfight. You can't lose concentration. Alright, so here we are now on some cold map. Not really sure what it is. And I somehow managed to get my plane into this 100% red line throttle. So it's like a 100.5% throttle or something, and because it's cold, the engine's not overheating. So it's slotted onto the tail of this BF-109E, I think that's what it is. Preview window is a bit small. Yep, BF-109E. And so we're going to try and deal with this dude. Alright, so he's diving down. I was like, I don't want to lose all my energy. And then I see the CA-12 is harassing our PBM Mariner up here. So I decided to go after the CA-12 and go after that 109 in a minute. As I'm at a higher altitude, higher speed, and it's not really going to be an issue. I thought this CA-12 had seen me and was diving away, but he turned straight back to the Mariner, being greedy as he is, and he's pulled up, he's got himself slow, and it is just juicy pickings for me. And there we go. I think I might have pilot sniped him there, so yeah. That's that one. 20 mils on this plane do tend to pilot snipe quite a bit, the Spanos, so that is quite handy at this low tier where not many planes have too much armor. Also, I did forget to mention in the intro, this plane does actually have some nice, has nice rear armor and also got some nice bulletproof glass at the front. So you can take head-ons. You do have some okay armor for head-ons, but you've got wing-mounted 20 mils, so it's not going to do too well in a head-on. Alright, so I've leveled back out here, and we're going to head towards this BF-109. Going to dive in on him now. Saw he was coming up for me, so I'm going to pull back up, pull him round. Going to pull up. I knew there was nobody around, so I felt fine stalling myself out. But if there is anybody around, you don't really want to be stalling yourself out in this aircraft, because it does become a bit of a floundering duck when you stall it out. But you can see this dude is just climbing. He is stalled out. He's dead. Wing ripped off. Pilot's unconscious. Easy kill. I killed him and ripped his wing off at the same time, so that was a bit of overkill. But now we've got two planes quite far away. So we are going to, I think here in a second, cut ahead to when one of these planes has turned around and is returning to base, because it's just a lot of me flying straight. Alright, so here we go. One of the BF-109s that was chasing that B-34 all over there has returned, and he's down there landing, and our friendly P-400 is engaged with this RE-2001. So we're going to try and deal with this 2001 first and let the BF-109 land. I'm not going to airfield strafe him. He's on the like poorly protected airfield, but I still don't want to airfield strafe him. So we're going to pull down, just dive straight on the 2001. I don't want to get too fast and rip, so I'll put myself on 0% throttle and I'm turning and whatnot. This RE-2001 is quite slow, so it's going to be relatively easy here. Even though, as I said, I missed my first shots. Now I'm in front of his guns, I start to panic. Throw it into WEP. We need the WEP right now. Try to keep as much of that energy that we got as we could. As you can see, easily just pulling like 7-8 Gs. This thing is very maneuverable. Pulling it round. Pulling straight up. P400 in, distracted him. Very, very nice teamwork by the P400. And now this 2001 is running. Oh, actually no, he's coming head on. My bad. I decided to push the head on. As I said, cockpit glass is okay. I felt confident there pulling the head on and got him on fire. I thought the P400 was going to kill steal there, but he was honourable and didn't kill steal. Alright, so now I've got the BF-109 taken off. I go airfield strafe. I'm like, no, not going to do this. I pull out of it after a few seconds. I'd rather not get my plane damaged by AA and may as well have an honourable dogfight. Decide to turn around and put the velocity I do have into a bit of altitude to help with the energy fight we're about to have here. So just climbing up, wepping up, trying to keep as much of that velocity as I can, as much of that potential energy that you need in dogfights. Gonna wait for it, then I hear the P400 going in, and I'm like, alright, as he whoops past me, I decide, alright, that's my cue to turn back in. Just using the keyboard controls here, and holding C to look around, and keep my eye firmly set on the BF-109. So I'm just gonna level off here now and wait for this BF-109 to turn in. I'm guessing he's gonna have to go after the P400, and I was correct. So I'm just gonna slot nice and neatly onto his tail here. I've gone off wet. My engine is, as you can see, absolutely melting from the wet, even on such a cold map. And my shots are just not working here. But then bang, in comes the Spitfire and just somehow manages to pilot snipe him. So that was well played on the Spitfire's behalf. Alright, so now I've realised I'm a bit low on ammo. Trying to work out where the last people are. We realise one's a bomber and we're like, there's the last person directly towards base. Alright, well I'll fly towards him, but I also need to RTB. I'm getting low on ammo. I've got 4 rounds of ammo. So we're going to cut ahead a bit to here after we've flown most of the way back to base. And we're meeting this 109 halfway through. I'm going to pitch up a bit, try and have the altitude advantage over this 109. But even so, I make a pretty bad mistake here. I pull down and get myself onto the tail. I should have kept going flat and try and pulled around. Next thing I know, he's on my tail. But, as I said at the start, this thing is more maneuverable than the 109, especially with the combat flaps. So I know that I can just turn. I know that no matter what the airspeed is, I can just keep turning and this 109 isn't going to be able to get me. And I know the P400 isn't coming, but I know the Spitfire's right behind me. Or is like a couple of kilometers behind me. So all I need to do is keep this 109 in this turn fight until that Spitfire rocks up and I can try and get it, or the Spitfire can get him. But the Spitfire does say in chat on his way here that he's out of ammo. So this Spitfire is only going to be a bait, which is going to be quite handy. But we do only have 4 rounds of cannon rounds left, so we're going to have to use our 7.7s for this and hopefully get a lucky pilot snipe. So we're just turning, slowly pitching down a bit or pitching up a bit more. As you can see, I'm actually slowly getting close to him here. Again, if this had gone on for long enough, I probably would have actually gotten his tail, which is pretty funny. But yeah, so we're just turning here slowly. Spitfire says he's coming. He's almost here. I think one more turn and we're done. I've pitched down here, trying to get on the inside a bit more, get a bit more airspeed up. Didn't work. I'm occasionally throwing the throttle forward. Spitfire's 2.5k out. Should be made one more turn. So as you can see, throwing on the wet here, trying to pull it, get a bit more speed, pull it around. I almost get it pulled around enough for a few shots there, but just not enough. We would eventually. He sees the Spitfire, he levels off, trying to avoid the Spitfire or go for him. They miss. He's obviously a bit damaged now. Spitfire says he's out of ammo. I think Spitfire did have a little bit of ammo left. Sorry, my bad. And so I'm here just long range spraying the 7.7s. But then I tap my last 420 mils and still somehow managed to get a critical hit with my last 420 mils, which was pretty impressive, I thought. And yeah, so now we're gonna 7.7 this dude down, and there's that one. So now he is down. We're on 4 kills, and there's one dude left. And I am in desperate need of a repair and a rearm. So thank you to Spitfire in chat. And there's that one. Alright, so now we're going to skip ahead to the landing. And then during my landing, tickets very quickly start ticking down. And I start begging the P400 just to go after ground targets, because I realized time was starting to run out pretty quickly. So we're landed here. Landed. I'm going to rearm. We'll skip ahead to that, so not sitting here for the whole minute and a bit. So now we're taking off. I'm starting to panic. There's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. The P400 just isn't killing ground targets fast enough. They're way ahead on, we've got less tickets than them. They've got more. I'm starting to panic. I'm taking off. I'm like, oh, God, good God. I'm telling the P400, please hit as many as possible. I don't think he was the most experienced of the game. And then I see the HE-111. I'm like, oh my God, he's not at altitude. He's flying straight towards me. He's flying to bomb the airfield. I'm like, there might be a possibility here. I'm trying to do the rough calculations in my head. Are we going to get there fast enough? He's probably traveling about 300. I'm going to be traveling 350, 650. Can that travel 15 kilometers in a minute and a bit? And I was like, yes, we can do this. So there's that one. So I I'm sort of panicking at this point. It's like, by the way, this battle happened about 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm there sort of just panicking, like, please, 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 I want to win this, you know. I'm of course researching my British planes. I don't want to have to, you know, I don't want to lose this. I'd love to win this and it'd be a great finish. I'd love to get my ace as well. So I'm just hoping beyond all hope that I can kill this plane in time. I'm just checking the time, it's just ticking down. I'm just like, come on, come on, come on. I'm just thinking in my head, I've got to get it on the first pass. Got to get it on the first pass. I've decided to go up in altitude. He's diving. I'm like, oh no. I'm wepping. I'm just burning my engine up. I don't really care at this point. And there we go. There's that one. I got hits. I didn't get it first. And I'm just here. I'm just aiming for that engine. I'm just aiming for the wing right now. I'm like, shoot off the wing, 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 shoot off the wing. But I somehow managed to kill his pilot. So there we go. GG. 5 kills and an assist. That is a pretty damn good battle. I was pretty happy with that one. But yeah, so that's a good game. Alrighty guys, there you have it. The Boomerang Mark II. Actually, pretty decent aircraft if you ask me. You know, if you know what you're doing, you can do quite well on this aircraft. If you guys do also want some more Boomerang Mark II content, you can go over and check out Dog Tour's video. He's a friend of mine, and he's recently started doing videos, and he's growing pretty fast. So if you want to go over there, check him out, maybe subscribe, do go do that. But yeah guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.